One day in Asgard, Loki is feeling particularly spry. He sets out to see what mischief he can get into. He quickly comes across Sif resting. He seizes the opportunity and he cuts off her hair. You see, Sif has long golden hair. It is her pride. She often takes care of her hair, and Thor is known to often brag about it. All of the gods comment and delight in Sif's hair. Well, when she wakes and realizes what happens, she is mortified. She is torn to the core. She goes into hiding because she's ashamed to be seen. There she sits and she sobs. Thor returns from an adventure he was on, and he goes looking for his beautiful lady Sif, but he can't find her until eventually, off in the distance, he hears her sobs. Quickly, he rushes out to her. She says, "Thor, don't even look at me. I'm hideous." He sees what has happened, and he is instantly enraged. He knows Loki must be behind this. He calls an assembly of the gods and he demands justice. Odin sends out to have Loki found and brought to face the charges. Loki is found and he knows this is not going to go well. When he is presented before the assembly, he lowers his head because he knows this indeed was his doing and punishment is about to ensue. But Thor jumps to his feet and wants to slay Loki instantly. Loki begins to plead for his life, swearing that he can make right this great wrong. Odin offers to give Loki this chance to make right his wrong. And Loki sets out straight for Svartalfheim. He goes straight to the Dark Elves, the sons of Ivaldi themselves, for they are famous for their craftsmanship and their magical workings in their forges. He knows if anybody can create golden hair for Sif, it will be them. He approaches the sons of Ivaldi, and they are making marvelous things. Upon approaching the sons of Ivaldi, Loki's eyes are marveled. They are creating a great ship, a ship that will always find a wind to push its sails, a ship that can be folded up and tucked away into a pocket. They are forging a mighty spear inscribed with runes and magic so that it will always hit its mark. After giving them great praise, Loki quickly wins them over and he tells them his dilemma. He needs golden hair to replace the real hair of Sif herself. The sons of Ivaldi are quick to oblige and set out to get to work. In a bar of the finest gold goes to the forge, and quickly they are drawing out fine strands. While they are completing their projects, Loki gets a grand idea. He's going to go to Nidavellir and test the dwarves in their forges against the sons of Ivaldi. So off he goes. Once he gets to Niederwiller, it does not take him long to come across the billowing forge of Sindri and Broker. He comes upon them and they seem a little bit dismayed that he is even there. His presence is bothering them. They don't like unannounced guests. But he begins to tease them and he challenges them. He says, I'm having these mighty fine items made by the sons of Vivaldi. I'm willing to bet that you cannot make something as fine as theirs. Sindri and Broker, they're offended. They know they can create mighty fine items and imbue them with magic as well. They are certain that they can create things just as grand as the sons of Vivaldi themselves. So they make wager with Loki. They wager against his own head that they can indeed create items every bit as good as the sons of Vivaldi's. Loki accepts this challenge and off he goes. The dwarfs, they set to work quickly. And the dwarves are hard at work. Sindri drawing out the metals. Broker billowing the forge. Sindri cautions Broker, you must be consistent. You must be diligent. Because any faltering will falter the product. Loki sees his opportunity. Hard they're working. First, they create Gulenbursti, the golden boar that can run as fast as any horse, that can also fly through the sky. But as they're working on Gulenbursti, Loki transforms himself into a horsefly and bites Broker on the hand. But Broker keeps billowing. Gulenbursti came to completion and was perfect. They begin to work on Draupnir, a golden armoring that could reproduce itself. As Broker's billowing, Loki bites him on the neck, but Broker continues to billow. And the golden armoring Draupnir comes to completion and is perfect. Now they begin to create Mjolnir, a mighty warhammer. And as Broker is billowing, Loki bites him right above the eye. Blood trickles down over his eye, and this causes him to pause in the billowing for but a moment. But this moment was just enough to make the handle of Mjolnir much shorter than intended. Sindri is a little displeased, but he believes his warhammer is still fine enough to compare up with the work of the sons of Vivaldi themselves. Loki's not done. With the dwarves completing their tasks, Loki has transformed back to himself and appeared. He says, there's so much here. I don't even know how I'm going to carry it all and bring it back to Asgard. Broker says, I will help you. And I will allow the Asgardians to be the judges whether or not these items are indeed as fine as those of the sons of Vivaldi. And after they've decided, I will take my price. I will take your head. So they gather everything up. They go back to the sons of Vivaldi. They gather up the mighty spear that always hits its mark, Gungnir. They gather up the mighty ship that always finds its wind and can be folded and tucked away into a pocket, Skidbladnir. And they also gather the wig of strands of golden hair for Sif herself. Back to Asgard they go. Once they get to Asgard, the council is called and everybody comes and everybody's marveling over these mighty fine items. Gulenbursti is given to Freyr. Gungnir, Odin takes for himself. Sif puts on her wig, and the golden hair transforms and flows as natural as could be, and likely more beautiful than her original hair ever was. Mjolnir is given to Thor. Odin also keeps Draupnir, the golden armring that reproduces itself every 8 days. Skidbladnir is given to Frey, so now he may travel by land, sky, or sea. Once all of these fine items have been divvied up and claimed by their new owners, Broker speaks up. He says, "We have a matter left undealt with. Loki and I have a bet, a wager for his own head that our items, the items made by Sindri and myself, are every bit as fine as the items made by the sons of Ivaldi. It is for you all to decide, are our items as worthy of the Aesir as the sons of Ivaldi's items?" All of the gods were in agreement, amazed by the craftsmanship put into all of these items. They agree. No item is greater than the other. They are all worthy of the gods and goddesses of Asgard. Broker peps up. "Loki, I'll be taking your head." Loki says, "Fine. But at no point did I agree that you could have any part of my neck." No one in attendance could agree at the exact place where the neck ends and the head begins. No one could agree where to make the cut. In frustration, Broker's beginning to realize he's not going to get Loki's head. So Odin offers a compromise. "What else may you take instead of Loki's head?" Broker says, "I will be satisfied with the right to sew his lips shut so that he may not welch on another bet." Odin chuckles and says, "It is so." Broker quickly gets to work and sews the lips shut of Loki. And while the rest of the gods play and enjoy the items for the rest of the day, Loki sits sulking in silence. Much love.